getting hotter this year. The rain coming like a hurricane with no fear. Cause in the streets we ain't got no peace. Shoot the beast from the east, but you run from police. Don't try me, cause I be the bomb like O.G.C. Straight from O.G.C, I heat shit up like Hawaii. 5 when I'm live like a 4-wheel drive. Every day I strive to make y'all rappers realize how dangerous Strangle gets on the microphone when the hyper, snipe your ass from up close. This is the Boot Camp Show. I'm your host, Starang Wonder.
Top dog, top dog. What's going on?
Wagwan.
How's your day been?
Hey man, I'm still here, brother.
No doubt.
Man,
Appreciate you joining me tonight.
You already know.
We're gonna let some people fall in before we get into it.
You already.
All right.
Let them lock in while I light up.
All right.
Play some music.
What your day consist of today?
We was putting together the whole studio setup. Just got up in the joint. I mean, me and my business partner. It's my first time learning how to set up a actual studio instead of just going to a studio. So
right.
And now just pretty much just collecting all the music I need to lock in. And that's pretty much it. Every day is like a day of building with this company, this new company situation we're dealing with.
Are things loosening up out there as far as the quarantine goes?
Much more than it was. You know, like 2 weeks ago it was like horrible. So like I say pretty much the people are starting to like getting a little bit little shit dust off of them before, because they was jumping across the street. If you get anywhere near them, like, you ain't got to be 6. You could be 10 feet, and they still about to bump into a pole or some shit like that. So that shit, that shit is weird. Like, but like the store, some people they starting to forget. Like, hold up, we are people. Like, how are we? And especially New York. How are you gonna avoid from being so close to each other? Like, because nobody really getting the idea of like, all right, do you get it if you touch somebody, or do you get it if you don't have a mask on and get close to somebody? They're not really being elaborate on it. So I'm just like, I just look at them and just wear it out. It's hard to be part of the sheeple.
Right. For everybody who is tuned in right now, this is Quarantine Sessions, episode 27. I am with the O.G.C member, the BCC, the Fab Five, Mr.
Top Dog out of here. Top Dog.
Yes, sir.
Here. You're ready. Salute, everybody.
Thank everybody for logging on right now. We was talking about the quarantine. What were you into and what was you doing when you were told at first that you had to go into quarantine?
I just invested into a company with a business partner called IEP, Infinite Enterprise Productions. And we was working on, and still are, just pretty much just dealing with a lot of different artists with their production, show-wise, like just setting up shows. Like we was gonna work with one of Popcorn's people, trying to get like some showcases out here for the summer and everything. You know what I mean? Because we know a few people that has some parks that we can get jinging, and a couple of venues we could have filled up before they actually start shutting stuff down. So that pretty much was the whole gig, and trying to just sit back and trying to figure out when they're going to let the borders open back up to see what's going on. But otherwise, we just trying to focus on with the company. We still deal with models, want to deal with movies, and still with music, everything production-wise. So what's the new step? Like what we doing right now, what's the new step of keeping this thing going? And so we're just trying to stay in tune. But we definitely was just trying to, we was just about to just bubble up with the whole, I was just about to learn how to be an A&R and still be an artist and get my acting on.
Renaissance man.
Yeah, I'm like all around the world entrepreneur, entertainer. You know what I mean? Artist, not just a MC.
How has this quarantine and virus affected your day-to-day activities?
It hindered it a lot, but me being a spiritual person and the way I was raised and the people that gave me my lessons, you know that everything happens for a reason. So you take your time out and get to know yourself, get to figure out what's going on. Everything slows down, but it's still there. It just depends on what you tapped into, how in tune are you with the people. And like traveling situations, that's the worst part for me, because I still was doing those side jobs. Like me and my uncle have a cleaning company, and he had the car, and I was taking a massive transit because I'm good with the transit. You know what I'm saying? I'm a Decepticon. So the train slowed down. You know what I'm saying? They got you taking this night. Now I got to get up an extra whole hour and all this stuff. So that shit I had to leave that gig alone for a while. And so he had to take on all them other jobs without me. I ain't want to have to do it like that. But a couple of, like, my kid's mom and stuff like that, she had got sick. She thought she had the COVID, but she just was sick because, this is flu season.
Right.
And people was getting sick and thought they was dying. So I got kids. They started panicking. That shit started getting real stressful because I'm like, hey, man, I don't know what they spraying in the air because I know they've been doing it for years. But the most you could do is just research it and stay healthy. Like, cause you start telling all people what it actually is, and you're gonna sound like a conspiracy theorist. You're gonna sound crazy. So,
right.
I'm not gonna preach to them. Everybody that's in my circle, I'm gonna tell them what they need to do. And when this shit is all over, you're gonna be like, yes, this nigga was right.
Since you've been quarantined up, what have you learned about yourself?
I learned patience.
That's what a lot of my guests have said. A lot of patience.
Yeah, I learned patience, and I learned a lot of my movements was more for a lot of other individuals instead of for myself. So I get a chance to sit down like, what do I need to do for myself in order to help anybody? You know what I'm saying? To keep myself who I am and not go off the limb and try to, like I said, follow the sheep, because that's the way the shit is, and that's the way it's gonna go, and nobody gonna fuck with you if you don't do that type vibe. So to reinvent myself, trying to reinvent myself as a solo artist and still O.G.C, but we are older, so I know nobody like, yo, no whole group, no super group even stay together that long, unless there's like, we got a 25-year anniversary coming up next year. That's 25 years for O.G.C. And if they open up the borders, we might have all the House of Blues. You know what I mean? So that'll be a good look for us. Otherwise, absolutely. I don't know how we would reinvent ourselves as O.G.C besides just doing videos for new songs and just putting them out. But performing, I don't know how they're gonna work with that. That'll be dope to find out how. I'm like, I see how the social distance is outside with the circles and the separate tents and all that other stuff, looking like D blocks and all this other madness. But something has to change. I can't see this going on forever, bro.
Right. Well, let's get into a little bit of Top Dog history. For those who don't know, can you take everybody back to where you were born and raised?
I was born and raised in Bucktown, USA, also known as Brownsville, Brooklyn, in Cephalo Projects. My family, I got Yard family and I got Southern family. And the middle child of two brothers and a deceased sister, and pretty much a good wholesome family. Like, mother and father was there. I had my cousins and my grandparents or my aunts down on the second floor. We was on the 14th floor. My other grandmother all the way down on the other projects over there. And then I had an uncle that ran like the whole Brownsville, East New York community, because he played for the Knicks in the 70s. His name was Jocko, so he ran the BRC out there.
Okay.
And him and Fly Williams, I don't know if you know about Fly Williams, they had pretty much ran the youth organization all out there. Basketball, anything else that was jinging out there. So that kept us organized as a community. Like that kept all the baddest kids cool because of sports, some type of something they kept us into instead of what they got the kids doing before this quarantine, which was nothing.
Right.
And expecting to do something with nothing.
What was a day in the life of Top Dog growing up in Bucktown?
It was pretty much like most young black males growing up in the hood, or if you grew up in the projects, you already know one project building consists of probably like if it's a tall building, it consists of like 200 something families. So you lay that shit down on a block, you good. So now just think about 4 or 5 buildings on one block. So that's 2, 4, 6, that's 800 something families you got to deal with right there. So you got to be tough. You got to be tough. Because no matter who you are, who your family is, somebody going to wait till you turn down that dark alley to want to see what type time you want.
Right.
So me, pretty much, I'm like, it's no real superheroes, but we stuck together as youngins. You know what I'm saying? We had our pigeon coots, we had our little pit bull dogs, and we just made sure that we hugged the block until we started going to school, like junior high school. That's when we started spreading out off the block. But that day to day, like the most fun part was learning all the curriculum outside when we was doing anything to stay from going inside. You know what I'm saying? Feeding our own games besides just football and basketball and stickball and, you know what I'm saying, like the tag and the roundup and kick the can, shit like that. You know, that shit was dope outside.
Right. Can you take me back to some of your musical influence before the BCC thing kicked off? What was some of the things you were saying around that caught your attention?
Me, I was a straight yachty. I was heavy on Yellow Man, Buju, Tiger, Ninja, Barrington, Harry Cableton, Shaba, Flex, the whole reggae splash, sound, Stone Love, Bob, and then I had like my brother still. He was the like that was his gig all the way. Like he was the rapper. Me and my cousin Supreme from the reps, we tried to be actors. We wanted to be on TV. You know what I'm saying? We went, took the pictures, everything for Nickelodeon, and he went and actually did a little gig. He played a judge on Nickelodeon special, and I was supposed to go do like a commercial for Macy's and shit like that. But I got shy. I got cold feet. I was like, damn, man, they called me too fast. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready.
Right.
And it was like, yo, that whole scene right there. I'm sorry. That whole scene right there, I'm trying to tap back into, man. Like, cause I think that's my thing, man. I'm like, I love the music. I love the art of rap, the art of music. But I like the art of the whole scenery, though, with the soundtrack of life and stuff like that. Throw me off that. I don't even know what I was saying.
Take me back to Black Moon. Were you there in the early stages of Black Moon forming?
Yes. Yeah. That's what started me. I'm like, I pretty much just was being that I wanted to tap into the industry. I said, let me just, you gotta stay around. You gotta be relevant. You gotta show your face. So I lingered. Once my brother told me, like, yo, Buck and them about to get a deal. Like, they travel now, and they manager is Chuck Chillout. And I'm like, Chuck Chillout? You talking about the rap dude? DJ Chuck Chillout? If he the manager, then he know people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, I'm in the spot. Like, I'm not supposed to be going to the club and all that because I was like 14. But you wear the hoodie right and you move like you supposed to move, you up in them clubs. Right. So I started seeing that shit, and that shit was like, it was a movie. As soon as you walk in the door, you just see you just hear the music, boom, and you see the people, and you see the lights, and it was like, yo, I want this shit. You know what I mean? I want all of this. Right? I'm not saying I wanted the fame, but I just wanted to be able to be around that shit. Like, yo, I want to be able. When I come in, I want to be like, yeah, the room is back there. This is that. Blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? Just to have that, but never wanted to be like, I want everybody to turn their neck, break their neck, like, oh, that's Top Dog, word,
Right.
I want to be in between. That's why I love Red, because Red, like, I don't even want to be a platinum artist. Just give me the goal and just keep buying my shit. That's all. You
Right.
know what I mean? And I treat y'all right. You know, you want to be all the way up there, king.
What kind of memories can you tell us? And when you knew things were real after Enter the Stage dropped, what was going on in your head at this time?
Well, my brother Smith and Wesson was the next in line, so they was going in with writing, and I'm there every day, sitting in the room, gotta hear everything from the beats playing over to the ideas. Like me and Still, we sat up in a room and we used to watch this. Everybody used to watch their movies the same way like Wu and them. They used to watch the Karate Flicks. Everybody trying to find a niche. Like, what we gonna take? What we gonna do? All right. We get the boots. The boots came from the whole Decepticon thing. You know, New York construction. There's always construction being done, and plus, it's the grimy city. We ain't in the country, so we need boots to step on all that glass and crack pipes and needles so we don't get stuck. Now, the fatigue is the fact that we in a jungle. You know what I'm saying? Concrete jungle. Now, between all of that, we just sitting. So I'm like, we went and got like some black exploitative movies, and we just was chilling in the crib, blowing it down one day. And one of the movies was called Bucktown. You know what I'm saying? So we watching it like, yo, this shit is dope. Like, it's old and all shit. They got all of the because that's my pops was into all, you know what I'm saying, the Spook That's Hide Behind the Door and all the City 48 movies. So we watching like, yo, this shit is dope. I mean, like, yo, word. Still was already, he had, before it was even Smith and Wesson, he had his own solo group. Not even solo, but he went solo after one of his other partners, which is Chase. He probably told the story before. Chase, him and Chase had a little group, but then they had a little situation, and so he had to go solo, and he started his own little movement called MOST, Man of Steel, which he grabbed Rock. Rock wasn't fully in it yet. My cousin Supreme and a couple of other cats around the neighborhood that actually didn't stay with us because people started moving and had other ideas. But after all of that, it was pretty much like, yo, son, we had to put together another name because too many people was coming. And now it's like, yo, it's a lot of us. Mad about it. What we gonna do? Like, yo, boot camp. It's like, yo, we in boot camp. We gotta soldier up. We gotta get our shit together. Like, yo, niggas don't know that some of these niggas is fat, some of these niggas is lazy, some of these this. Now we gotta all be on the same regiment. So we gotta soldier up. So boot camp was already in. So now like, damn, all right, gotta think about where we live at. What's going on around where we live at? A lot of shit going on. Like, niggas be shooting every day over here. So we formulated, long story short, we put the movie Boot Camp, Bucktown, and Boot Camp together. Before it was something Boot Camp. And then all together we wound up getting Bucktown Boot Camp. And it's like, all right, took it from there. Same day, we did that. I was just bullshitting while they was in there doing their writing shit. And I'm playing, I'm like, yo, I'm tired of all this rap shit put on my music. Of course, it's Buju. You know what I mean? Playing, I was chilling for a little while. And then I'm like, yeah, boom, bye, in the boxy boy head. He's like, what? What you just said? I'm like, what? I'm like, no. He's like, yo, spit that again. So I spit it again. He's like, yo, write that shit down. I'm like, write it down. You bugging. I ain't writing that shit down. He's like, yo, write that shit, nigga. I'm like, all right. He like, keep writing. So I'm like, damn. I'm like, I wasn't on no rap shit. So I ain't even know how to count bars yet. I'm just writing. I think I got up to like 6 to 8 bars. And he's like, I'm like, yeah, I see his page always like this. Ooh, my shit like that. He's like, that's good. We gonna see what that look like. I'm like, what? I'm like, yeah, all right, nigga, wow. And sure enough, once they got their deal, and it was time to go in that studio, and they was picking them beats, they was like, yo, let me hear you on this beat. Son, you got going in them shit. I'm like, nigga, sweating, hands sweating like. The first time I've been in a real studio in D&D. That's the first time being in D&D studio. And the rest is history. That was my first song I ever wrote with Soundboy Berry.
What were some of your favorite memories from those sessions of The Shining?
Say would be just all of us up in the spot together because it was genuine. It was like, instead of us being in the project in the hallways or trying to pack them in somebody's crib, we had a whole studio to do this shit at. And once we all knew it was work to be done, and to see the business aspect of it all as teenagers, it felt good. So every day that we was in the studio was a great day.
Helter Skelter was up next to drop. What do you remember about that time?
Actually, Helter Skelter, we didn't sign at the same time, but we dropped at the same time because they shopped O.G.C. and Helter Skelter at the same time, which was the 95.
Right.
So like they shopped us at that's what Blah and LaFleur came out. So they shopped us as two different artists, but we all together became Fab Five. Helter Skelter and O.G.C. is Fab Five, and we do songs together.
Okay.
Some of the labels want to sign us as Fab Five. We not a whole group, all five. We not the five heartbeats. So
Right.
and plus the other two niggas too tall. That shit when I look right on stage. And it was just lo and behold, I don't know. Drew did the shop work, and finally they landed us at Priority. It's just that we was working on the same time, but they figured, all right, you know what? Let them drop first. That's why they always dropped a month before us. So they dropped their album, not 9/6 of September or November. Then we dropped. No, I think they dropped theirs. Yeah, probably like a week or two apart. We was always like right behind each other.
Okay.
We pretty much dropped the same year. Just that the way it was pushed, like it was like in accordions. But
When it was time to record The Storm, did you guys feel any pressure knowing that you were up after groups like Black Moon, Smith & Wesson, Helter Skelter? What kind of pressure did you guys feel going into that?
my first album was definitely pressure because I was still learning how to be a formulated rapper. Like, you could spit some shit, but what made it easier to me, I guess I had two other partners. Once I started learning, like, yo, all right, the format of a song, each artist got to have 16 bars. Not that you got to have it, but at that time, it has to be 16 bars. They want to hear what you're talking about. You can break it up if you're nice enough to break it up and all that other stuff. So the learning process of that was alone nerve-wracking. You know what I'm saying? And then to have Black Moon and Smith & Wesson there, they was more supportive during the first go-round. It was like, it's always later on deep into it where everybody start becoming their own critics, start judging their own stuff. Like, hold on. You got to make sure, you got the second one got to sound like how the first one or better than the first one was. So you started, damn, what's going on right now? Damn, I don't think my shit could pop like that if it's going to sound like that. So you start second guessing yourself. So the first one was nerve-wracking. The second one was actually, I'm here, and it's like I'm dealing with a whole group of 8. It ain't just O.G.C. no more. Now I'm dealing with Buckshot, Smith & Wesson, Helter Skelter. They like, yo, son, I know that next joint y'all do, I got to make sure it's this and make sure it's that. And it's like, what? I'm hot. I'm on fire because we just lost Big and we just lost Pop. So I'm like, yo, I'm kind of upset with the game. And I'm like, see, I'm about to go into this acting shit because I'm going to fuck around, kill somebody's going to kill me. Because I'm not going to be going to people's town and they telling me, yo, nigga, what you talking about on that stage, talking about boom, bye, bye and shit like that. Because you know what I'm saying? We went to spots and like they turned music off like New Orleans. They love us, but when we went to the young crowd, like we did the black what's that shit down there? Black College Friday, Black Friday, some shit they call down there. We did the House of Blues. So they're like, all right, you know, they got an after party down the block. They doing all the college kids go over there. So I forgot, Manny Fresh DJ at the time, them people DJs, well, like a white boy. They was like, yo, y'all come rock if y'all want to. They was in there packed doing it up. You know how they dun. So, you know, they like, yo, son, we got, you know, that #1 song, you know, that Soundboy shit, bang, bang, bang. It's like 05 now. This ain't no new Soundboy. So they like, all right, fuck it. And they threw that shit on. They like, the whole club stopped when they put that shit on because it slowed the shit down. Like, he just turned around like, what the fuck? And I'm just like, he like threw me to the walls. I'm like, yo. Everyone's on one test. Boom, bye, in a body boy. They like, what the fuck? This nigga talking patois, man. What the fuck? And I'm just like, yo, nigga, we ain't even get through the whole shit. We did, I guess, Tech did his verse, and then it was like, yo, give thanks, New Orleans, we got up there. I'm like, yo, I was so fucking pissed. Because it was like, it was too much. We already just rocked out. We could have just went and just smoked and just chat. And we just could have just stayed on the stage and just bullshit with the DJs. Like, the people like, yo, who that? We just been smoking. We ain't had to stop their whole fucking show.
Right.
Like, the music was, I ain't gonna even lie. I'm a party person, so I'm like this when I went up in the shit. Dun. I don't want to hear our shit. We just finished the set.
Right.
So I'm like, yo, yeah. The monster. But once that they bring that monster out, it was like it was a slow pause. And that slow pause happened when the towers dropped. Music changed completely, really.
Right.